Hi, and welcome to the Greater Statesville Chamber of Commerce 2024 Candidate Podcast. I'm William Morgan. We have the opportunity to interview candidates for local, state, and federal office, and we're pleased to be welcomed today with current House Rep from District 84, Jeff McNeely. Jeff, welcome.
Thank you, William. I appreciate you having me on here.
Sure.
Thank you.
Tell us briefly a little bit about yourself, your background.
You know, lifelong Iredell County native, small business owner, G&M Milling, husband, father of two, elder out at New Sterling ARP. Just got a new preacher. Anybody looking for a church? We got a guy that's going really well. We'd love to have you. That's that pitch. Been involved in different aspects of politics and service in Iredell County for about 24 years now, 16 years on the planning board of Iredell County, 3 years as your county commissioner, and now 5 years as your North Carolina House representative, and just have enjoyed serving the people of Iredell County. I love where I'm from. I want to try to help and do the best I can and leave it in better shape than I found it.
You certainly had a long track record of public service, and we appreciate that. When you decided to go from county commission to the state level, what inspired you to run for that? What triggered that?
Well, you know, when I was on the county commission, I was kind of the liaison between our county commissioners and our House reps and our state government. And so I made quite a few trips down to Raleigh and got to know a lot of people through Rena Turner and through our different senators that we had. At that time, Forrester was our senator, Jim Forrester. So, and enjoyed kind of the process. And I've been blessed. The Lord, I feel like, has put me in a lot of different places and shined on me. And the opportunity came. And a door opened with Rena wanting to step down. Matter of fact, I was one of the first ones she told me, and Ron Wyatt one day, and we were almost flabbergasted because she goes, "Well, boys, I'm done." And, you know, I kind of looked over at Ron. I looked back at her and I said, "Okay, so what does that mean?" And so it meant that there was going to be a chance to get appointed, and I was unanimously appointed. So the Lord opened the door for me, and that's where I'm at.
Well, you know, one of the things that has impressed me and that I think would be personally difficult to do in the role that you're in is you've got to balance the needs of your district here at home versus the needs and desires of everybody across the state. So how do you get excited about something in Onslow County and at the same time address, and you've had a very successful track record of financial contributions back to Iredell County in this district. How do you balance that?
You know, that's really difficult, but know this. A lot of times I tell people, you know, I feel like a turtle sitting on top of a fence post. I didn't get here by myself. And just in the House alone, there's 120 of us, and 72 of them are Republicans, and it takes every one of them right now to pretty much get any kind of bill passed because it seems like our beloved governor vetoes them all. And so I've got to get excited about Onslow County because I need George Cleveland, who's from there, to help me with my bill, just like I'm going to help George with his bill.
Sure.
And it's, you know, you hate to use the word fraternity, sorority, or whatever, but we're a close-knit group. And we realize that everybody has needs. Everybody has needs, and my job is to get Iredell County's needs, but I got to help other people get theirs too, or Iredell County will not get what I want them to have.
Sure.
So it's not easy, and sometimes you don't even really like what some of them are doing in other counties, but that's what they wanted.
Right.
And they don't ask questions of me, and I don't of them. I try to help. I learned real quick when I got down there that if I was going to get anything done, I was going to have to help everybody I come in contact with their legislation, and then they would start looking at me as a freshman in. I wasn't very significant, and that's helped me really grow by helping other people.
Sure. The current political climate, at least in my opinion, in this country is incredibly diverse. We're very separated.
Oh.
How has that affected what you've had to do in the House and working with the Democratic Party, reaching across the aisle, if you will?
You know, things have gotten so polarized. There's a lot of people on the other side of the aisle that I admire. They're good people. And I've worked with them, smart people too. You know, we've worked on certain bills together. But it's sad that I notice a lot of times we'll have a vote on a particular bill, something that's really not what I would call toxic. Okay, this is something that we know is going to move the needle forward in North Carolina, and we'll vote. And then all of a sudden, you'll see them on their phone, and next thing you know, they're standing up and saying, Mr. Speaker, I'd like to change my vote to no. And you may have, and those are the ones that I feel like I could work with. All of a sudden they're changing because they're told by somebody somewhere that this is going to hurt you probably in your political career. So go ahead and change your yes to a no. And so that's the climate. I wish more people would make their decision because of what they know and how they feel and be with it and stay there instead of worrying about what it's going to do politically, what's going to happen. Do the best thing for North Carolina. Do the best thing, always.
So let's fast forward to January. You wake up, you're reelected. What priorities do you have in place for next year?
Well, I'm working on a couple different things right now, and I hope I get them done. But, you know, I got made a transportation chair back in this past January.
Bless you.
Yeah. And I really just wanted to get on the committee. You know, once I got appointed in Rena's seat, I inherited her committees, and they don't really fit me necessarily. She was on agriculture, so that was good, but I don't need to be on Judicial 3. I work myself off of K-12 education. Not that it's not critically important, it is, but that's not my specialty or my calling. And so now I'm on environmental, and like I said, I asked to be on transportation. Well, next thing I know, they say, okay, we're going to make you a chair. And I said, oh, okay. So I really started drinking from a fire hose. But we have a lot of good people on there. There's 3 other chairs, and 2 of them have been on a while. And then we have Senator Vicki Sawyer, our senator, who's transportation chair in the Senate, along with Michael Lazaro and Tom McGinnis. So they've been digging hard in on the actual asphalt, we'll call it, or the pavement or the roads. I'm crazy. I think I can help do some good in DMV. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Y'all should have saw that look. Anyway, we spent $60 million out of a $90 million appropriation trying to update and modernize DMV online. And really all we got for $60 million was if you have no infractions or anything, you can renew your license. Mm-hmm. That's all you can do.
Well, you moved DMV too.
We did.
Okay.
We did. And we thought that was trying to just break up some of the, I'll call it cronyism to a point, or the bureaucracy of it. Right. And it has helped some, but we still have the same characters. We haven't changed out some parts yet. But there's things that can be done. There's things that can be done. And so I've tried to work real close with Commissioner Wayne Goodwin and try to figure out things that are not really partisan, that are things that are going to improve the DMV, but going to improve quality of life for us. One thing that's near and dear to me is farm tags. Okay. I'm an agriculture chair, first one west of Raleigh in over 75 years now. I always like to use that line. Anyway, it's only good for 150 miles from your farm. Well, this is a huge state.
Yeah, it is.
650 miles possibly, or somewhere or another between Murphy to Manteo. So really, tell you the truth, the closest place for some of my farmers to merchandise, sell their soybeans is in Fayetteville, North Carolina. It's 158 miles from my mill. We make that trip all the time. So theoretically, none of my farmers really here in Iredell County can go there legally and take their soybeans. They got to hire somebody like me. And maybe I'm cutting my own throat, but I feel like if they got the truck and the trailer and they want to do it, then they ought to be able to go and not have to worry about breaking the law. That farm plate should be good all over the whole state of North Carolina. So we're working on that. I hope I don't have to do legislation, but if I do, I will. Sure. But that could be something internally that they could choose to do. It doesn't have to come through us. And I've told them that. And so we're working on that. So that's just one of a couple different examples, trying to get more bus drivers eligible. You can go get your medical degree easier and you become a school bus driver. My goodness.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because education either gets a good rap or a bad rap in the state, and especially in terms of teacher pay. And if you drill down in the numbers, I'm preaching to the choir here, we've had pretty significant increases in teacher pay here in North Carolina. But how do you address that? I mean, there's a lot of negative publicity out there.
Well, and seems like that once again, the people want to take talking points. And you talk to one person and we're the 48th, funded education state in the country. I don't know what those parameters are. I talked to another one, we're at 31. I talked to another one, we're 24. So we're all over the place. I don't know. I guess it depends on which parameters you want to use. Teacher pay, I know this last time in the House, our budget when it left was a really good budget, had 11% average raise for them. Well, we went over to the Senate, and folks, it takes two, you know, if you want to make a thing go right. And Senate started at 4. We ended at 7. Mm-hmm. And that's where I was afraid we was going to end. But 7's not bad, but it's not what we probably need when you got the same amount of percentage of inflation. I do know this: if we'd have gave them 4, I don't know if anybody would be teaching right now. They'd probably slapped them in the face. Mm-hmm. So I get it. Things are tough, and they're on a salary that is not probably paying them for really what they're worth. They do it because of the love of teaching children, and we hopefully will continue to raise. We've raised it every budget since 2010. And the only one we missed was when we didn't have a budget in 2019. So I look forward to us continuing to push the needle and raise teacher pay and raise all state pay to a point as long as we can. And we had the money these last 2 budget cycles to be able to do that. Mm-hmm. And so we've tried to help all of our state employees because right now there's a labor shortage and it's not easy. Right. It's not easy.
So last question. As we all know, you've got some challengers in the primary.
I do.
Why Jeff McNeely?
Why not Jeff McNeely?
I like that one too, but
the reason why I say that is, I've been there 5 years. I've been able to work really, really hard. I'm not going to tell you I'm the smartest person in the room, and unfortunately not the most handsome, not the most debonair, maybe not the most charming. But you will not outwork me. You will not outwork me, and I've worked hard for Iredell County. And the main focus, a lady told me, Linda Johnson, when I showed up my first day, she was a 30-year veteran of the House and senior budget writer from down in Concord. She's passed down, bless her soul. Told me my number one job was to figure out how I can bring as much money back from Raleigh that we sent. And so I took that to heart, and that's what I've concentrated on. And with the help of what I call Team Iredell, Vicki Sawyer, Gray Mills, good man, vote for him too, Mitchell Setzer, we brought back $143 million in 2 budget cycles, y'all, and that's unheard of.
That's significant.
It's unheard of. And that's money that we didn't have to tax our citizens here in Iredell. We got your money back. This is your sales tax. This is all your income tax. These are all these things you sent. We got it. Now, hopefully, we got a little extra. Maybe we got some of Mecklenburg's, too. That would make me feel good. So I've concentrated on that, and I think I've done a great job at that, along with the rest of us. I'm an ag chair, like I said. First one west of Raleigh in 75 years. I think that's critical. I'm a voice at the table for Western North Carolina agriculture. I'm now a transportation chair. And that's rare in itself that me and Vicki both being transportation chairs, hopefully that will reflect in some of what we see in Iredell County in the future. I pray it will. That's why we're doing it. Sure. These are things that I think are hard to achieve, and I've achieved them. And I think the people of Iredell County are really smart people. I've talked to a lot of them, and I don't think they're going to throw that away. I just don't, because if you send somebody else down there that's never been and has no experience, they'll go sit on the back row. And if they work really, really hard, in 5 years, they'll be right back to where we are right now. And that's 5 years we will miss of getting what we should have gotten. So I think it's important that we continue on this, and experience 24 years is critical. Sure. It's critical. I know if I had a doctor that had over 4,000 surgeries, because I made over 4,000 recorded votes in my time from the planning board to commissioner to now down as a House rep. So if I had a doctor, a surgeon with over 4,000 surgeries and 24 years of experience, I'd want him to operate on me instead of somebody that just got out of med school.
Okay. Well, we certainly appreciate what you've done for Iredell County. We thank you. We wish you well in the primary, so good luck.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you having me on today. Thank y'all so much.